What's going on, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Talking Time to Six. Today, we're going to be speaking on a story time from when I was locked up. But before I start, I'm just going to start by saying this. When I tell these stories, right, these stories are from the past. These stories are from the beginning of my record, 2003, okay, till about 2012. Okay, so I don't want people to think that's how I am now. I've turned my life around. I'm more mature. I'm grown. I have a lot more to live for now. And back then, I was a little crazy. I was off my rocker back then, and I really didn't care about nothing. I didn't care if I lived or died, and I honestly thought I'd be dead before I was 20, and I was a major, major, major drug addict. Okay, so yeah, so that's that. And that's what caused most of the violence and stuff. Okay, all right. So, and what I'm also gonna say is this: what I speak on are things that happened to me while I was locked up and incarcerated, right? That I personally went through, or I personally been through, or I was up in the mix in, or things that happened to me that I've been convicted on. So if you guys really think deep down, like, okay, these are the things that I talk about that I was actually convicted on, you know what I mean? There was also things that had been, that I had beaten trials, or, there's also other things, you know what I mean? Out there, eventually, it's like, um, you can only say so much. You can only talk about so much stuff without incriminating yourself, right? So, even though these stories are from way before 10 years ago, so, and, any of them would be uh, the timeline way over the timeline of being able to do anything, but still, I just don't feel comfortable speaking on anything that I haven't been convicted on, right? So, that being said, I want you guys to think about it and think, okay, these YouTubers, prison YouTubers, they tell us the stories that they were convicted on, or the things that they went through while they were in there and got misconducts for, right? A lot of this stuff, I got misconducts for this stuff, you know what I mean? Or the jails are closed down now that I speak on, you know what I mean? So the records are probably gone or whatever. The stuff that I speak on is all personal. Like if it's a fight or something, then it's probably personal fights, most of them. I don't go, oh, I seen Johnny get in a fight with Billy and cut his head off. No. Or you know what I mean? Or I seen Damien, cut Johnny's eyeballs out and feed them to his cellie. Like, no. These aren't the type of stories that I tell here. But yes, I have been jumped by gang members. Yes, I have had fades back to back just to, keep my stuff and keep my name intact. Because, I do consider myself a legend in the streets of Toronto. And just because my name's so well known. And that's what I set out to do when I was 12 years old. I said, I'm going to make a name for myself in these streets. And that's what I did. And, so when you're in jail, it's like, or in prison, it's like, you don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose your name. So it's like, you got to fight for everything. You know what I mean? You can't let people punk you off for your stuff or take your stuff. You know what I mean? If you let them do that, then they're going to do this, that, the third. You're going to look like a bitch. Next thing you know, you get out and everybody's laughing at you. You know what I mean? Because people talk. Everybody on the inside talk to people on the outside. You could be on the range with so-and-so. Where are you from? You say where you're from, he could go call back to his homies and be like, yo, such and such says he's from where, and then he goes and talks to so-and-so, yo, is he from here? I've never seen this person from here, or yeah, I've seen this guy, yeah, this guy's cool, he's from here, yeah. And then they come back, oh, okay, you're cool, bro, you're cool. I know some people that said who you are, I know some people who you are. You're Fast Eddie, yeah, I know who you are, yeah. A couple of my friends know who you are down on Jane Street. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. So, basically, that's what's going to happen. First thing, as soon as you come in, they're going to want to know where you're from. Okay, they're going to want to know if you're from T-Dot. If you're from T-Dot, they're going to want to know where. If you're from out of town, they want to know where. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's that. My first charge was a youth charge. My first charge was assault. Right here, plain and black and white paperwork. Okay, it says right here, criminal record level. Okay, there's my name, and right here is the first entry, 2002. July 30th, 2002. Okay, assault. That was the first time I ever went to jail. I was a youth. Okay, I did 5 days, and then I ended up getting bail, right? And then I'm out on thing and got 12 months probation. Then I'm out on bail, and then I probably ended up breaching the bail, and shortly after that, because these cases would take a long time. So I'm pretty sure my next charge kind of added into this, where I got breached for the bail or the probation I was on during this time. And because this is another youth court in 2003, the very next year, where I get charged with robbery, failed to comply with disposition, which is whatever it was I was supposed to do from the first assault charge, right? So the first time, they always let you off. 99% of the time, if you didn't cut someone's head off, they're going to let you off for the first time, especially if you're a youth. Okay? Well, actually, most of the time when you're a youth, they will let you off. I don't know when you're an adult. If you're an adult with a clean record and they see that, they're going to go a lot more lenient on you, right? If you didn't have a youth record and stuff like that. They say your youth record gets expunged, right? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's a lie. Okay, this was taken. They looked this up in Let me see here. They looked this up. 14. Okay, so in 2014 is when this was written. Okay, so they looked this up in 2014, which is just nuts. All right. Okay, so now we're going to jump into a story time. I'm not going to get into much more of this. Oh, wait, I'll finish the list of charges that were here. It was robbery, failed to comply with disposition, and then failed to comply with recognizance. Yeah, so that was it. It's wild. Anyways, then they got this written with my freaking mugshot. It says this. It says my name, my description, all that, right? It says brown hair, brown goatee, caution, escape risk, leg irons. Okay. 2-man. Okay. And then they wrote suicidal. I don't know why they wrote that, but that's crazy, right? I'm not showing you because it's black and white photocopy, and you can barely see it. You can barely see my face. I'm bald. The picture probably got like about this much hair, probably, maybe a little bit longer. When it grows in. Try to show you. Oh wait, hang on. It shows my address and stuff. I got to kind of block that stuff. Okay. Let's just leave that part. Okay. You can tell it's me, but it's so dark. That's me. Anyways. I wish I could get all my stuff. I want to get all my mug shots. There's probably like at least 8 or 10 of them. For real. I want to get all the different ones and put them on a thumbnail or put them on the channel art or something, But here, for some reason, they want to charge you money. Literally, you gotta freaking pay money. Like, literally, you gotta order this stuff. It takes forever, and then it's so hard to figure out where to go and how to get it, and then you gotta pay money to get it, and all this. This is like, why? It's my own stuff. Why can't I just get the stuff? Anyway, I gotta look a little bit more into that. because I really want to get those photos, even if it's just the photos. You know what I mean? That'd be cool. Okay, let's think. Okay, so story time. We'll talk about something. I'm gonna think for a sec here because I just jumped in off the top of my head to do a video for you guys, and I wanted to speak on that stuff. Okay, so let's think. What kind of stories do you guys want to hear? Let me think. What haven't you guys heard before? I've told a lot of stories here in the past, so I just don't want to tell the same one over again. First, I'll think about what place to tell you a story from. Since I was talking about the youth stuff, let's talk about. We'll talk about Tayak, how bad Tayak was, what Tayak was all about. Okay, so Tayak was basically a youth jail, Toronto Youth Assessment Center. Okay, this place was really, really treacherous to say the least. Okay, so the ranges there were like secluded off. Like you couldn't really see other ranges or anything when you were there. Like when you're in these super jails on the pods or whatever, you can see to like A, B, C, D, E, F. I've explained that before because it's in a circle, right? Where these ones that are these long, long hallways, corridors with the cells with bars, right? And then it's like to get off the block, it's like a door that closes. So then there's a hallway out there that just has all these hallways and doors. And when you open up a door, that's to a block. Well, so you can only see out this much throughout that door, but that door is on the other side of a gate. And they only open that gate when they're bringing in food or bringing in something. So you basically never leave this little area that's a long, long corridor hallway, right? That's your range. And then you go in to where the cells are with the bars to go to sleep and to go in your cell. It's like a little cubby hole. And come back out onto the little skinnier area, you know, with tables, showers way at the far end by the front, phones along the middle, and a little area at the back that doesn't have tables, and then just tables all the way up, 4-seater tables, right? And okay, so that's how it looks. And the bunks are double bunk, your bunk beds, right? And so when you're in the hallway here, say the hallway's running north and south, when you go into your bunk, right, on the west, you'll go in to the west side to go into your bunk, and then it'll be straight back on the wall. It's not like to the side or anything. It's like straight on your back wall, facing like this. So you're looking at it. It's not running it's running like this. You're looking at it lengthwise. Okay. So this jail here was real brutal. When I first got in there, I see a dude that's got gold teeth. I remember that much. He goes, like, I'm trying to remember the very first thing that I seen and saw, and then we'll get into more of the story. So the very first thing I see while I'm walking in with my roll, walking with my stuff, this is the first time ever in jail, okay? I go up, dude comes and says, yo, and the guard's still there, right? Because he's coming to unlock the cell. It's like nighttime or something. Everyone's in their cells. Dude comes and says, what are you in here for? And I see his gold teeth. I think bars right at the grill. And I says, assault. And he says, I said robbery and assault, right? And breach. But I think I just said assault or something like that. I said assault and a couple other things. Assault and robbery. And he's like, I'm in here for murder. And he looks at me real serious and goes, yeah, I'm in here for murder. And right then and there, I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe my situation is not as bad as this guy's situation, right? So I'm thinking, okay, this guy has it way worse than me, obviously, so I need to stay strong here, you know? And I had watched all these movies before, you know what I mean? Trying to see and think what it's going to be like in there, you know, already, you know, with the homies on the outside on the streets and stuff, thinking and talking about, you know, mafia movies and like Belly and like, you know, you see all these documentaries and movies and stuff. They always portray it like a West Coast thing, right? So when I get in there and I'm used to seeing movies, it's like they all stick to their own, you know what I mean? All that. Because when they show movies, a lot of the times they will show West Coast politics in movies because it's Hollywood, right? But here in Canada, we're Toronto here, right? So Toronto is kind of more way closer to East Coast politics, 99% closer to East Coast politics. Okay, um, but we have our own politics, is what I'm saying, right? But a lot closer to the East Coast, the way things run. Okay, so it's not where everyone sticks to their own and whatever like that, right? Because in the prison system, we don't have uh, a big number of others, right? There's like a big population of Indian, um, Muslim, you know, which could be Iranian, Afghanistan. You could be anything really, you know. But so there's a big population of Jamaican is the number one population of people here. Okay, so you got about maybe I'd say about at least half, if not more than half, of the population. I'd say at least 65% of the population is Jamaican. The rest is, you know, everything else white, Indian, Mexican, you name it. Okay. We have everything here in Toronto. Toronto's the most diverse country in the world. Okay. Um, or in Canada for that matter. I don't know if it is in the whole world, but I believe it is. Everybody comes here. New York is kind of like that too, but so basically everything is ran in Toronto here in the youth system by the inmates. Okay, it's straight up. That's how it was in Tayak. You aren't going to see a guard ever, really, unless you got to go to court. Where a lot of guys would leave and crack off ranges when they go to court. You won't see guards unless they're bringing the food in, okay? But here in our politics, the way the Toronto politics run is we always have two servers, two quartermen, two cleaners, whatever you want to call them. They're called different things, okay? I've heard cleaner in jails. I've experienced them called cleaners, quarterman, servers, okay? Some don't like to be called servers, they'd rather be called cleaners. Some don't want to be called cleaners, they'd rather be called, you know, quarterman. Okay? So on our ranges, we have two quartermen in each range. So basically, what will happen is there's one door that opens up that's like a solid door you can't see out. This is in Tayak. And then there's a gate door that they open up. Okay, very small little space. So they open that up, and they push in the cart. This big, huge cart full of food, right? It's a big, huge cart with all the hot trays and cold trays on it. So all the food comes in. When they push that in, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or come to drop off like supplies, uh, maybe like a laundry change once in a blue moon. We weren't even getting laundry change like that. It was like rarely ever get laundry change. And when you would, guys would fight over who wants to get the Chris sauce. You know, if there was a couple brand new jumpers, or because you would never ever get jumpers, you know, t-shirts. The rules would be two pairs of socks, two pairs of boxers, orange t-shirt, and a white towel. Okay, so they would never give you a new jumper, right? So dudes would have to clean their own jumpers and stuff like that. Like if you've been in there over a year, you're still wearing the same jumper. Like for real, this is nuts. Um, so yeah, hygiene's a must. So dudes would go in, wash their jumpers in the shower, literally scrub them with soap. I've seen that, and then dry them out, wring them out. gotta do what you gotta do in there regardless. I've always done my own laundry in there because the laundry is disgustingly brutal system. You boxers you put in, they come back different ones. It's just like, washed with the whole fucking jails boxers. It's disgusting. So me personally, I try to get whatever couple pairs, wash them out and just keep washing them out. Same with my socks. If you got nothing else to do anyway, you might as well not be lazy, right? Okay, so now when the food comes, right, the guards will quickly push the tray in, and the quartermans will take that, and then they'll close back the door. So that's it, like a 2-second thing, push in the cart, and then when they come back, when the carts are empty, they'll fill up all the trays. When everyone's done eating, quartermans will fill up the trays and put the empties, cold trays and hot trays, in the cart. And then the CO will come to the door and grab it and then leave. They might even have a cleaner in the hallway doing it if they have short staff or something. The cleaner in the hallway might just come grab that out into the hall where there's a CO in the hall, and you just go into different doors and grabbing the carts. Kitchen worker, cleaner, hallway cleaner, or something. In those types of jails, the hallway cleaners are very important to move things to different pods, because you very rarely see other pods unless you go into court or a program, which they weren't really running programs like that in there. So it was mostly dependent on, the cleaners in the hallways. So basically, the way the food was there, they still had bones in the chicken, okay? Now you can just imagine that. That's like handing everybody a weapon on chicken night, right? Everybody, here's a weapon. Here you go, guys. Make sure you sharpen them down. Like, oh my God. So they eat their chicken bones and get to sharpening. Now everybody on the unit has a shank, chicken bone shank. Unless they're a crackhead, then they're trying to make a pipe. I don't know. But it's crazy, right? So this is the first time when I heard the word bawas when I was a kid in this youth jail, Tayak, right? So out of Mandam, I find out this guy's name's G, the one with the gold teeth. We're all hanging out, playing cards. They're like all introducing themselves to me and stuff. My celly, a couple other dudes. Chikati, it's hard to remember everybody, I think there was a guy named Smokey, I think Smokey, yeah, I believe Smokey was my celly that didn't speak English. Okay, we used to smoke a lot of weed together. Okay, so basically, what happened is the food comes. I'll give you an example of how the food is, okay? Because I'm not really telling a specific story here. I'm just kind of telling you how it is in Tayak, right? Okay, so when the food comes in, everybody's sitting there eating. You got the cold tray and the hot tray, right? Everybody will be like doing their trades or whatever. Some people don't like this or that. Condiments and stuff like that are hard to get, so people are doing their little trades for condiments and whatnot. And there'll be certain guys that are just like crazy, right? Like that are not all there, that are hungry, that just are gangster and they want the food. And say sticky bun comes in the cold tray that day, they will literally go up to a couple of dudes that they think are soft and start popping their tray, and before they even give it to them, they'll pop the tray and take it out and put it on the table, right? On the gang table. And so you'll see like 6 or 8 sticky buns on the gang table with the 2 servers, right? And then there'll be 2 more dudes sitting there with the 2 servers, and then there's another table beside that with like 4 more dudes, and that's where I was sitting with G, right? And so the 2 server dudes are popping everybody's tray and taking out the honey buns, right? And so I'm thinking, hey, I hope he doesn't try this shit on me, man. I'm new, man. He's gonna try me. He didn't try it the first day, right? He didn't try it the first meal. He let me live. So I was like, okay. So we're all eating and whatnot. We finish our meals. I see the way the routine works. And next thing you know, the guard comes, takes the tray out. And I'm thinking, damn, you don't see guards here very often, right? So I'm thinking, goddamn, shit could go down in here, and, shit's going to be brutal in here. So I did get tried, though. The next day comes, they're popping everybody's trays, they're getting bananas for a punch. They all want to make punch, and they only get bananas once or twice a week or something like that, right? So they start taking everybody's bananas. Okay. Now, this is where I was not knowing what is what, right? They said it like a nice kind of way, like, yo, everybody, we're gonna make a punch, we're gonna take everybody's banana, da da da. The two guys and like the table, and because I was at the table with G and that, I was just like thinking in my head, you know what? Okay, I'll throw in for the punch, maybe they'll get me a cup. I'm trying to get in cool with these dudes, right? So, but I'm not realizing that's like a punk off thing. You don't let people do that, right? So what happens is, I says to G like, yo, man, them are making a punch and all that. Like I'm trying to like get in there on a cup. So they all making their punch and whatever. Nighttime came. And okay, also I thought, okay, well, everybody on the range is giving it too, right? So it wasn't just like they singled me out; it was everyone on the unit. So I was thinking, okay, whatever, right? If it's anything else, I'm not gonna be so cool about it. So nighttime comes and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll get a cup of punch, right? I'm all excited. I'm thinking, okay, maybe these guys are my homies. These guys are gonna be my new homies. Maybe I'm in cool with these dudes, right? And they're all like, okay, they're giving each other the punch, and because it's the bars, they would take the punch like this and they would slide it to each other in a cup. They'd slide the cup down to their homie's cell. They were really good at it. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. They would literally put the cup upside down, and they could, in a styrofoam cup, and they could shoot it down there, and without spilling it. And I was just because the floor is like, ceramic floor or whatever, uh, smooth floor, and I was just like, damn, these guys got shit. Like they know what to do, and I'm learning all this stuff. I'm learning all this how to fish. I'm learning that they fish stuff. They throw punch to each other at night. All this in like the first day or two, right? I didn't even know what punch was. Right? I just thought it was something good. I later on learned what punch was. You know, no, I didn't get any punch. They called it a personal punch, so they ended up having it just with the gang and their homies. And because I wasn't in the gang, I didn't get none. Um, so yeah, that was that. And okay, so I did see a guy that week do something. I don't know what he did because I never asked, but he got fucking jumped bad that week in the shower. You don't ask questions like about weird stuff like that when you're new. Your first time in this and that, you're not in the politics, don't try to insert yourself into the politics, okay? It took me years of going in to learn the politics, okay? I didn't just learn this shit overnight, okay? So now they're there in this shower at the front, just jumping this dude in the shower, just fucking lacing him up and down, man, with the fucking mop bucket, the mop wringer, the fucking broomstick, cracking him with it, no weird shit, just beating him bad. And then they took the mop wringer that you ring it out with, took that thing and hammered him with it. I thought this dude was laying there dead, dude. I literally thought he was dead. He was laying in the shower, and when they're in the shower and you just see the blood going down in the drain. And then I learned the reason they'll jump people in the showers is to cover up the blood mess and all that, right? They don't want to make a huge mess on the pod because blood gets everywhere. Um, and then the COs come in. I'm thinking, oh, fuck, these guys are going to get caught. No, COs come in, push the carts in, grab the other carts, do what they got to do. Like I said, they barely ever come on the unit. So it's a inmate convict ran jail. You want to be on your P's and Q's, man. You want to sharpen your chicken bone. You want to be, not too friendly, but not too nice. It's real sticky in there, okay? Especially when you're new, you don't know too many people. All of a sudden, a couple weeks later, I hear my dude over on the other range is on D block. He was like running D block because his name was Big Red, and my boy Brandon. Shout out to my boy Brandon. I've known him since we were in grade 5. That's my homie right there. Um, Brandon G. Last name. Everyone knows who he is, so I'm not gonna say his last name because I don't want to, put people's names out there. Brandon is actually um, had some serious stuff happen in the past and I think he had to go do a long stint. It might have been looking at a murder charge. I'm not sure. I think he went to jail for quite a long time. Um, but yeah, he was always in jail, right? And so they called him Big Red. And see, when me and him were together in like grade 5 and stuff, in grade 6, we used to punch brick walls and shit. And like he'd steal his dad's cigarettes, and I'd steal my mom's cigarettes, and then we'd like go hide and smoke and all that. This was right after the accident, right after my grandmother, right? And me and Brandon, we got along and we matched together because we were like, different kids that were like delinquents at that young age. We were already starting to be real bad. Hanging out with this other kid, Rocky, that was like in grade 9, that was a real badass. Okay, everyone knew this kid to be like the badass of the school. Okay, so he was like buying cigarettes and stuff too, right? And we do daredevil shit and do weird shit, just daredevil jumping off roofs of plazas and just doing kid shit, robbing weed plants and not knowing what buds are, so we take the leaves and just kiddie shit, right? So I've known Brandon for years. But so when I heard he was on D Block, I was thinking, oh shit, my homie's on D Block. That would be cool, if I could get over there, if he could get here. But nah, hell no, yo. The guards in there hate the inmates. They ain't gonna do nothing for the inmates, okay? And they don't want to do nothing that they don't have to. These are the laziest guards I've ever seen. You don't even realize there's guards there 90% of the time. Um, they literally ended up closing this jail down, everybody, because kids would come to court so brutally, viciously hurt all the time, to the point where judges and crown attorneys and lawyers were noticing that this was happening all the time. Every time a kid comes to court, even if it's not like a victim who got beat up, someone that was just beat up in a fight that is trying to hide it, even, who's got like a fat lip or a black eye, and all these young guys, and nobody's talking, no one's saying nothing, everybody's just tight-lipped about it, right? And then so they keep asking every kid coming to court, what happened to you, what's going on, and everybody just keeps saying they fell off the bunk, or nothing happened, or so they were just like mind boggled that nobody would tell. For one, you're in General Pop. We ain't fucking telling, right? The tellers are over there in PC, and guess what they used to do in the kayak into the PC, and they shit in the hot chocolate. I swear, the jugs there for like beverages, like hot chocolate, tea, juice, milk, that stuff used to come in these big, huge brown jugs.